Hump day already, Johnny. Welcome back, Houlihan's.
Woo,
We're
buddy.
here with the Maui Hot List Houlihan, and there's some spicy news to talk about today, Johnny.
It's all just so fascinating, isn't it? So let's
We
bring them
got
up to
some
speed.
comments,
Yeah,
on the YouTube page,
love
got
it.
some posts.
Yep.
We got some text from you saying Maui Planning Commission votes no to expand hotel zones H3, H4. What do you make of it, Johnny?
Rejected it. I
Reject.
mean, it just seems like we're just kind of going like that. Like nobody really seems to know what they want because we've got a mayor who kind of started this whole thing with a governor who technically started the whole thing. And then they came up with the Exhibit 2 TIG group, and we had the mayor give a thumbs up. And January 7th, we had Maui County Council give a thumbs up. And now we had Planning Commission saying no. So they say they want things and they do things and they adjust things, they study things. And I'm like, man, you guys are just creating a field day for the attorneys. I mean, you really just are. I mean, because you
That's how it
basically,
feels, yeah. And
yeah,
whiplash for the rest of us. Like we're
yeah.
in, we're out, we're hot, we're cold, we're this, we're that, and in the end, everyone's confused.
So here's the scoop, right? So what happens now is that now it goes to Lanai and Molokai because that's part of Maui County, and they get to have their say. And it's pretty
Planning
sure that
commissions.
they're just gonna run through with the same thing. Go, we're with Maui, and then it comes back to Maui County Council for a vote, right? So last time it's
Yes.
8-1, yes, that they want this, and we need a 6-3 majority now, is my understanding, not your typical 5-4. So it'll be interesting now if they all change their minds. I'm going to tell you that even if Exhibit 2 goes through, I still see this thing headed for the Supreme Court for all the Minatoya people. Because why would you ratify that into your local government in 2018 only to do this 8 years later?
To reverse course.
Yeah.
That's an important one. So not all doomsday information. I think maybe a lot of people were concerned when they seen the no.
And I was too.
Yeah, I mean, you hit me with it.
Because it's confusing.
And at first, when I saw your text, I was just like, I was kind of blindsided by it, to be honest, because I remember back in early January, it was an 8-1 vote. And I was like, and the mayor was also talking about it makes sense. So I'm like, okay, wait, the two highest offices, if you will, the two highest voices in terms of the policies, the mayor and the Maui County Council have aggressively said this makes sense and we support it with an 8-1 vote. And then now to the next stage to see it's denied, I mean, you immediately just think like, oh, that's kind of crazy. What's happening? Why is it denied? And that's where my head went. But then I started doing some digging in it. And then I was like, oh, it's a totally different group of people. Maui Planning Commission. I mean, side note, I'm just going to say, Johnny, I don't even think it makes sense, period, to add more zoning districts. Like we already have H1, H2, which are hotels zoned. I mean, why not just use one of those? I mean, so just creating a whole nother process and rules in the first place seems a little bit crazy. I mean, the base idea of kind of rezoning that property, some of those properties makes sense to me, but creating new zoning districts doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, Planning Commission says no. The testimony at the Planning Commission is pretty much the same as we heard before.
Right.
One side lamenting about housing being taken away, the other side lamenting about businesses being taken away, both of whom kind of have a point. We've talked about that extensively on the show. Housing is difficult. There have been opportunities. Some people took advantage of that and took businesses. Most of the people we talk to, even from the show here, Johnny, this love of Maui is not a new thing, is it?
I mean, literally, how many times do we hear, and we've interviewed all of our clients, past clients, and I mean, it's such a very similar story. A lot of them start out, I honeymooned there, or I had some significant event, and it's caused me to come back over the last 20 years, sometimes 2 to 3 times.
Massively. So they've been loving Maui for a long time. Maui's shown off for a long time. The people, the experiences, the trips, the adventures, the restaurants. I mean, it's been showing off for people for a long time. So they love Maui. They want a piece of Maui. Normal people like a piece of something that they really like. I mean, you hear stories, Johnny, of Hawaiians buying in Vegas, Phoenix,
Arizona, dude. I watched the Hawaiian Festival in Arizona get moved from downtown Phoenix to Tempe Town Lakes because it's becoming so large. We lament the fact that there's so many Hawaiians that don't live in Hawaii, but that's what people do to solve problems. I did it, you know. I wanted something better for my family. The environment wasn't great for me here. I moved. Arizona did a lot for me. I'm grateful. I brought that back home here. And, doing something that was very innocuous in Arizona, like, you're the postman, you're a realtor, I mean, like Modern Family, they make fun of that guy because he's a realtor. And then you come back home to your own home and you're like, you are the devil.
So back to the Planning Commission. I mean, it's a group of 9 people.
Yep.
Not super surprising. I mean, they have very local roots. They're educated locally. A lot of them have ties to Lahaina Strong, who have been very adamant about this whole process and preserving housing and making it more affordable and getting local people into some of these properties. I've seen some of the testimony was someone said there's 1 or 2 properties on the Minatoya list in escrow right now by local families, and that was kind of what seemed to pull at the heartstrings from what I gather. But
well, let
again,
me
it
break
kind
it
of
to you guys. They've never been stopped from living in those places ever. We live where
have
we want
not.
to. We cannot live in timeshares like the Westin or the Marriott or the Hyatt Residence Club because of them all being chopped up. But local people can live any condo they want, can get the homestead exemption in any condo we want.
Anyone. So it feels like a lot of things right now in the culture, in the community, in the world, Johnny, that one level says agreement, the next level says disagreement, the next level says agreement, the next level says disagreement, and we're kind of all over the place in terms of how to move forward on any of these. But the easiest is to say no right now because that's a little bit more popular and a little bit more comforting because that's where the masses are.
Yeah, that's where all the complaining's happening, and it feels good to kind of line up to that. I can understand that. What I feel is like, how do we move something like this so quickly and we're still not rebuilding Lahaina? What would happen if we put the same focus there and actually created a solution to a really big problem that's going to happen? All the jobs and businesses that were taken away from that fire. So again, it feels like a form of distraction because, well, we have to be accountable for what happened if we're in leadership, and that's uncomfortable to be known for the people that allowed the town to burn down.
That is
I believe
a
that.
topic of conversation.
Indeed.
So
This
where
thing
do you
heads
think
for
we
the
go from
Supreme
here,
Court.
Johnny?
It's going to be very interesting on the next vote after it rolls through Lanai and Molokai and heads back to Maui County Council. Because if they then change their votes and now say, well, no, we're going to not do what we originally said was the right thing to do. I mean, what do you believe then?
I mean, fascinating because let me pull it up for us.
I mean, because then the attorney is going to go, well, guys really were never firm because you made these potential suggestions to change. And then you had the mayor on board with it and Maui County on board with it.
I mean, we'll be fascinated. If you read through this, Johnny, this was from January 8th, talking about what happened during the vote. It was 8-1, and everyone was in agreement, even verbally. Like the one no vote was Rollins Fernandez from Molokai, which she's kind of voted no on everything. But her verbal testimony was, it doesn't really matter because most of these properties are going to be in the ocean in 10 years anyway. And that was kind of her support of the measures. Like, hey, let's not throw local people in these because they're gonna you just float away down the road. And that was kind of shared by Tamara Paltine as well. So verbally, everyone was in agreement that this makes sense. One voted no, but still the overwhelming 8-1, super clean, super straightforward, and that's what they voted for. So it seems like, my opinion, based on what we're seeing here, is that this thing is still going to move forward despite what the Planning Commission said. How do you feel?
I mean, in the world of negotiations, again, very uncomfortable for the people that'll do it. But for those that are willing to take calculated risks, man, these Exhibit 2 properties still make a lot of sense to me. I do firmly believe that the whole kit and caboodle does end up at the Supreme Court, and I feel strongly it gets smacked down. We have history in the state of Hawaii. The islands are make up the state, right? So we're counties, but then we all make up the state. And the fact that Oahu tried to do this, elongate from a month to 90 days, got smacked down then. I mean, there's a precedence that's already been set. I got to imagine the attorneys are just going to gear up and just feast again on another Maui issue, right? After they clean up from suing the electric company and CAM schools for all their land and all these things. I mean, they're just going to come into the next big lawsuit.
That's
What's funny,
how it
dude,
feels.
is, and I'm going to use Pohailani as the example. What this all comes down to, and the reason why it's even up for discussion now, has to do with the government not enforcing their own zoning. That's what allowed the Minatoya list to reach ratification. I watched it happen at Pohailani. Pohailani, it was clear even in the Minatoya list. Hotel zoned, the studios that are on the beach, the duplexes that are across the beach, those are residential. Make it make sense, Maui. Again, with the double zonings, right? Same complex. Why do you do that? We saw that at Papakea. Well, they allowed vacation rentals to go on in Pohailani proper until 2020, 2021. That's when all of a sudden they got wind of it, I guess, collectively, and sent out a cease and desist. And that's why there's still active vacation rentals in Pohailani proper, because there's lawsuits that are going there. And that is quite frankly why Minatoya gave his opinion. You have allowed this. By turning a blind eye, you have allowed this. So once again, I see all the fingers being pointed except towards what the actual start of the problem was. It seems to all end
Very
up back in
confusing.
government.
Very
It really
confusing,
is.
right? I mean, you even heard in all the testimony as well that, hey, we can't have illegal vacation rentals, but then you think about who's stopping illegal vacation rentals. That should be the county, right? If they see things online, then they should be working to shut it down. I mean, you have Pohelani. I also remember early on in my real estate career, like 2017 on Maui, that places like Kihei Shores, bro, the county said no to vacation rentals, but the AOAO would allow it. And there was some tension about vacation rentals going on at Kihei Shores. So obviously a very residential place, but it's in between, well, now Minatoya properties, but vacation rentable condos and right across the street from some of the most popular beaches in all of Maui. So there was confusion and complication, and it was open-ended. And there was people that read it and interpreted it different. So I'm with you there. If you're going to make rules, then enforce them. Make it simple, make it easy, people follow it. But when it's
That seems to
kind
be
of
a common
maybe
theme.
2018, they ratified it, people felt confident. Hey, these are apartment zone, but you just ratified that it's okay to vacation rent. I'm going to just keep vacation renting. What's the issue?
Why didn't the county have the idea, the council at that particular time, to say, you know what, we need to change the zoning on all of these instead of creating this list?
Yes, or ratifying the list.
Right?
Even then, so Johnny, what does this mean for people? I mean, in my head, I'm thinking like, man, this is another negotiation point. This is more fear. This is more uncertainty. This is more craziness. I
That's
mean,
it.
you can't stand on your property and be like, this is an amazing vacation rental. Well, I mean, now there's more and more people against this thing continuing as a vacation rental. So I'm not going to offer you that price.
So right now I'm sitting in my head because we're going to potentially list something at Kuleana, right? And Kuleana's on this magic list because Kuleana has a very large majority of its complex's timeshare. So when that goes apartment, how timeshare got involved in apartment zoning, was paying taxes to the county, knowing that, well, we zoned that apartment, but we allowed timeshare here. How do you unwind the timeshare when it becomes apartment zone? How do you unwind all of these
Complicated.
big contracts from Outrigger and Castle at Camp Sands? I mean, do you think that they're going to want to get involved and maybe be part of the lawsuits because, you're taking away a contract that I had, an ability to do business, good business, and you were wary of it, and now you're making these changes? Like,
And there
these are
you have
the
it again, right?
unintended consequences.
They were collecting taxes on a lot of these properties for years. So
So
they
what are
know
you going to
vacation
do?
rentals are happening.
Agreed.
and more vacation rentals. So they were not enforcing it then. It wasn't like a surprise. I think this is what makes it really confusing because a lot of people in good faith started businesses or had contracts regarding vacation rentals, and that's the other side of the testimony. It's the one side's losing housing for locals. The other side is like, we in good faith, based on the information told, based on the reality that you're collecting taxes, based on that you have deemed these vacation rental condos and are taxed accordingly, then we're making a decision to buy this, to run it as a business, to run a business that caters to this business. And now you're suddenly taking that all away. And meanwhile, I mean, you talked about rebuilding Lahaina. I mean, I talk about just building in general. Like, I'm living in a part of the world where 10 years ago, there was little to nothing in the town across the water from where I live called Shenzhen.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's 35 million people living over there, and there's a new tower and building and residential complex like every week I go over there, bro. It is absolutely insane how much building's going on. So, and by the way, they're not limiting electricity usage or worrying about garbage and all these kinds of things. They're not taking away straws. So it's the biggest country in the world, and they're doing all these things. I think 17 days was the quickest I seen. They built an entire apartment complex, 27 floors in 17 days. I mean, it was just insane. Building is another thing. It seems I'm still under the guise that that would be a very helpful solution to these problems, and it wouldn't take 63 years to do.
I'm with the
But
government and I'm here to help. That's what you never, ever want to hear.
so there you have it, guys. There's a little breakdown on the latest news about Bill 9, about Exhibit 2, about the Planning Commission voting no, but still Maui County Council has the final say.
There's some interesting thing. We talked about it before. So there is one particular news story on the website called Hawaii News Now. And it was written by Chelsea Davis. She does a lot of the Maui reporting. You'll see her on the news, but she also shows up in our Maui Now. I couldn't find that story about the Planning Commission on Maui Now. Like, it isn't a news story yet here, which I find very interesting. And Chelsea wrote her story yesterday evening. So I don't know what to make of that, but we will continue to bring it to you.
A lot of people are commenting online that why is there no story on Maui Now? There's all kinds of other stories on Maui Now about zoning, about another property in Napili, the Monster House, and other things, but not this particular issue, which seems to be front and center right now.
Let's talk
But
about
apparently
water
it's
real
not.
quick. I found this interesting. If the county doesn't go for it, I don't know what I'm going to do. But, golf courses are another bone of contention, even though we have a lot of local golf courses on the other side of the island. So it's not like local people don't golf. But that's always a big issue because water, right? We don't have enough
Yes.
water. So the owner of the Kapalua golf courses, he's the owner of Uniqlo, amongst other things, Japan's richest man. He has volunteered to spend $40 million of his own money to make the water source that's in Honokahau better, and then just hand it over to the county. I'm sure we'll complain about that and mess that up too.
Entertaining.
It really
Are they
is.
sure they want to get involved with Maui, Joni?
Well, dude, this is what's happening all over the world is the problem. I mean, we're just, small and talking about it, but this is kind of what I'm seeing all over. Just the general vibes right now is a lot of activists, a lot of victimization, a lot of you have too much, so you need to give to me. And just kind of feels like that's where we're at in the cycle. Feels like we're headed towards a civil war or some kind of big fight. Really does.
Kind of a battle. I was telling you earlier, I saw a story out of Florida about a hotel that was trying to more or less privatize their beach area. And apparently in Florida, the rules are very similar to Hawaii in that the beaches are publicly accessible. And so that, you kind of hear it in Maui all the time. And they're trying to take away our beach access. They're trying to limit this. They're trying to limit that. And a lot of these issues, when I hear about them, people make it feel like it's only a Maui problem.
I
People
know.
make it feel like
Affordability.
we're the
all
only
these
ones in the
things.
world that are dealing with this. We're the only ones that have these problems. And yet, when you look around the world, when you travel around the world, the issue is very similar. And it kind of highlights the human condition that at the end of the day, there's the haves that want to privatize things and make it more special for them, right? To keep out the noise, to have more peace and quiet, all these sorts of things. And then I guess the have nots, if you will, to generalize, that want access to everything and everything should be public because that's what's fair. And so it's this continually back and forth about we deserve this and we don't want that. And at the end of the day, I mean, the beaches are accessible to everyone, and there's bad apples that seem to want to change that, want to yell at you for fishing on their beach.
Yeah. I do love our law
Unfortunate.
about the beaches here. I really
It's
do.
amazing. It's
And one
amazing.
of the
It's the most
few things we
aggravating
got right.
thing when you go to some other countries and they're like, nope, you can't go on the beach here because the hotel owns it. And you're like, what? Best part is walking down the beach.
There you have it. We need a little government enforcement once again.
Back to it. So with that, it's just kind of a heavy topic over and over because it feels like there's no solutions. I think at least that's how it feels for me. It doesn't feel like we move forward on anything. We just kind of argue and debate and push, and nothing really happens that truly helps people. So let's jump into the hot list, Johnny. This is where we talk about the actives,
Let's
the pendings,
go.
the solds. It's really the foundation of us talking about giving you insight, giving you tips and tricks into the Maui real estate market. Don't just look at it as what's for sale now. What we find is most people don't actually get involved anyway from the first time they look at things, but they start to gather information and they make their decisions accordingly. Our hope by creating this show, by putting these things out there, is really to give you the information that makes you confident in making a decision about Maui, whether that's to get involved, to rent, or to go somewhere else. Sound
Use
fair,
us
Johnny?
for your due diligence, guys. Use us. Wow. That's on 2 acres too, huh?
2 acres, Haleakala Homestead.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Suffered significant damage during a rental period. Oh, you mean renters mess up your stuff?
That happens a lot around here.
So a bit of a distress sale, but man, look at the land on there. That is gorgeous.
Looks stunning, doesn't it?
It really does. Oh, a
But
little Frank Stiller
3.2,
pole house
2,700
action.
square
Yep.
feet. House is pretty beat up according to the comments. But that's a lot of house.
In the world of behavior, 48 days in, we're already starting to do the incremental price reductions. So yeah, bit of a
So they're coming
distress
out at
sale,
that
it feels
price
like.
because of the land.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, now we got to see, do people fall in love with the land, or is the pain and the condition in the property enough to keep them away?
Definitely developable. What is that at Puamana? Oh, wow. Okay.
Looks like a rendering.
Yeah, it does. So another option to get involved in a rebuild opportunity. This is
First of
my
the
neck of the
buildings
woods.
to receive permit. Construction should begin in May 2026 and be completed in about a year. This is a 2-story townhouse with a spacious bedroom upstairs. So exteriors will be rebuilt. New plumbing, electricity, roof, ceilings, options for solar, plan for barbecue. So the rebuild
Yep.
at Puamana is starting soon. So Johnny,
So
1.2.
yeah.
You wait a year, you're paying $1,000 a month in fees, but you get a brand new condo in a year, approximately.
I just don't see this one being snapped up immediately, personally, at that particular price there.
Doesn't seem like too much of a deal, yeah?
It does not.
Someone's got to
So
be really, really forward thinking to imagine
one
what
of our
that will look like.
one of our clients made a point about this particular place when they stayed there. They mentioned how there's a lack of a beach. And that's true. There's one portion, it's further south. It's, and then just before you get to the park, we call that hot sands there. But to their point, it's not always a very big beach. It's one of those that comes and goes. So had a cool clubhouse there that was historical because most of this was historical, right? This area was a lot of the managers and stuff for the plantation. Yeah, I think that one's going to hang.
Harbor Lights still hanging around, Johnny. This one's new.
Did some updates there in the old D building. Well, didn't touch the tile.
Kind of updates. They did floor, cabinets, countertops. Bit of an ocean view. $199. I don't know. These things haven't been moving around the 200, so.
And in the world of weirdness, Harbor Lights does not allow vacation rentals and is zoned hotel.
Interesting.
Yeah.
$12.41 a month on the maintenance fees now, Johnny. That is creeping up, up, up.
And it just continues to still look a bit rough on the outside, right? I mean, that's where your maintenance fees are going to. Elevators, always a bit of issues. Yep. Waihu Beach Road. Oh, okay. So a 21864, and then also another 11600 feet
So a
next to
couple
some
small little houses
yeah
by the beach for $1,200,000.
on a quarter an acre or so.
What do you think?
Give me a the satellite view if you don't mind. Where am I at? My
You are
Hawaiian
down
home.
by the beach.
Okay. So I'm right on the
Kind of.
road too, right on the highway kind of a bit.
On the inside.
And that's what I was seeing was that big building in the back there. Boy, that's a challenge space there, Danny. I don't see that at all.
Feels aspirational, Johnny.
It does. In my head, I'm like, dude, do they break $1,000,000 for it?
Yeah, it feels like a sub-milli.
Yeah. And then I saw a crazy one too at Old Sand Hills. They wanted 1.6 for the house, and then they were selling off the other terraced lot for like 700. I was like, I don't understand. Shores of Maui. Is this our buddy's place?
Yes, it is.
He never changed
Bought
that
back
couch
in
ever. Not once did he.
back in 2018 for 4 and change. Held on to it for a few years through all the ups and downs. This is apartment zoned. This is not on Exhibit 2. $599, 1 bedroom. Kind of
11.
some updates. Location's good. You're right
That's
down
all he did.
by the
He just added that
cove.
backsplash. That's it, huh? That was
That's
his
it.
one
And the
update.
tablecloth.
Yep.
$1,100 a month in fees, but I don't know. I mean, if we kind of follow in line, Johnny, with those that are turning residential for a
Yeah.
1 bedroom, I mean, most of those are going now around
4 and change.
400,000. So now you're
Agreed.
saying this is worth 200,000 more, but you do have the amenities. You have tennis, you have pool, all those things.
Here's a cruise ship. 12th floor action. Not a bad price. I've seen some in Mahana sell for $1 million, but for me, this is fairly what I expect for a 1 bedroom there. When you consider that you could buy, for more money, you could buy a studio at Honuakai, but you're nowhere close to this view here. I guess that's where you can start to see some value. At 4803, is that everything all in, Danny? Hit me in the remarks if you don't mind.
Looks like
There it is.
Yeah.
So in
Maintenance, reserves, utilities, and special assessment.
So here's the scoop, gang. Come April of next year, about a year and 2 months in the future, $1,704 of that is going to go away. So then my maintenance fees are going to land at $3,000.
Yes.
Wowza. So I believe that electricity included here. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Your
So
reserves,
maintenance fee.
well,
Yep.
you're plus $500 a month for utilities. So yeah, it must include.
Yeah. So it's all
everything.
in there.
800 in reserves as well. I mean, they just did a bunch of spalling and different things, but yeah, it's still 800 a month. So fees.
There you have it. Yeah, you're only going to buy it if you're a fan. Tough to make money when you're looking at 60,000 in maintenance fees and another 15, 20 in taxes.
But those views, Johnny, not a palm tree in sight, nothing blocking your view on a cruise ship.
So
Some
then
people are all
Mahana's
about
more
that.
of an enjoyment purchase, right? And you've got the money
Yes.
to make it happen. I think you could rent it out to where it would pay for, with a cash purchase, it could probably pay for a large amount of those fees, but it's definitely
Yes.
not going to be a big producer until tourism comes roaring back, if it ever does.
And your fees go way down. Back to Waihe.
So here we are in that same area
6
there.
bedrooms and 1,700 square feet. How did they do it, Johnny?
They added on, Danny. They kept adding as they kept having kids, brother.
Bunch of little bedrooms in there.
That's it. So this one right on the highway. This one's close to like Hawaiian Homes and stuff, I gotta imagine.
Looks like you're configured. There you go. 3-1 and a 3-1. So it's basically split
Always.
into a duplex. Yeah, upstairs, downstairs units. If you
That's
look
it,
at it that
gangy.
way, I mean, then you start to think about a lot of the 3-1s that we see, Johnny, are $1,000,000. This has two 3-1s in it for $1,175,000. From that angle, it feels like value.
And a lot
And
of
you live
local
in
people,
one,
this
you
is
rent
how we
out the
make it
other.
work. Yeah, this is how we make it work, right?
That would help. You get $3,500, $4,000, $4,500 a month rental.
Bam.
That helps.
Yep.
These ones you don't see very often, John.
You don't, bro. And
on Exhibit 2.
They are. and they totally make sense for it as well.
They feel like vacation. So 600 square feet. This is on upstairs. It's a 2-story complex, kind of an L shaped. This one doesn't have much of a view.
What do they get? Like Lipoa Beach kind of is the
Yeah.
beach?
Lipoa Beach. I mean, you cruise down. Yeah, you're up to Halama in a short minutes. Waihule Beach Hale. 892 in your fees, 625.
I'm going aspirational still.
Kind of, yeah, perceived market on the edge of aspirational.
Yep.
We shall see. This one has been hanging out for a long time, Johnny. 285 days, 793
And
down to 710. These used to
these
move like
move.
crazy. They wouldn't
Yeah.
even come to the market. They would sell off market. There was so many people interested. I think they got to a price where people started to question.
They have this on exhibit too. So it's just going to be fascinating. I mean, what? Do you still keep Castaways and it's locals now? Or
Yeah, I mean, this used to be a hotel, right?
yeah, literally built as the Hilton. I mean, it's literally along the same, it's right along the same beach as all the Westin timeshares and all Hanukkah
Right next to
and
Royal
Royal
Lahaina.
Lahaina. And yep. Oh, okay.
Talked about one of these the other day. It was a Paradise Ridge.
Yep. So these guys bought it brand new and now putting it back out there. And this happens a lot,
Updated a
guys.
few things.
Yeah, the Maui dream comes and goes sometimes.
That's it. So let's see what. Looks like this one's got a bit of a history, Johnny.
There
Paid
it is.
$1,251,000
Paid $1,251,000
for it.
Already looking to take a loss.
2020
rented it
and
for
got it
$48.50 too.
And now trying to sell it for $1,199,000 down to $1,179,000. So
what's the remarks say about the rental? Let's see.
Renters in the property doesn't say how long their rental agreement is for.
Got it. So if we assume a year, they did it in October of last year, rented it. I mean, listed it right after they rented it, kind of, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So interesting. This is one that doesn't follow much in line with our buy it new and sell it, make a buck off of it. But it feels like they missed out on the market, right? They bought it in 2022, which is kind of the height. Tried to sell it in 2024 when things cooled off, and now they're just trying to get out of it.
But $860 for fees. Man,
not bad. For
all over the place.
2-bedroom, kind of luxurious, if you will, with some of the amenities. I mean, it feels okay. I did see there's an assessment. I'm not sure what that's all about.
4 years in, we got a special assessment. Wailea Palms. So these were never vacation rentable, correct?
Never. Always second homes. And
so in the luxury resort
residence.
areas, guys, everything continues to have value. It's just sometimes selling a second home takes longer than a vacation rentable condo because for a lot of people, the income generated is the permission that they give themselves to buy.
That's it. This feels very second home-ish. Got the office. It's got the Murphy bed. I mean, vibes for sure. This is one of the nicer remodels I think I've seen in here. A lot of them usually look pretty dated.
This is your true second home buyer or your primary residence. It could make for a luxury rental, but you know, the guy that buys this as a second home is the type that says nobody else touches my things. I use my stuff.
Beautiful complex, beautiful amenities. They're down 100,000 in 72 days, Johnny.
El Dorado also on exhibit too. Don't know what's going to happen if this one, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to my next door neighbor that works there. Do you continue having the whole crew that's there and the staff, or do you no longer need them? I don't know.
Side note, Johnny, I did see something interesting on Lahaina Strong page in regards to this planning commission kind of vote. They were saying if you want it to be hotels, then you need to have a full staff, you need to treat it like a hotel, and you need to have security. So it's kind of interesting that they were putting that out there, almost as like, well, if you do this, then we're okay with it. That's kind of how I read it. Because as they walked around, they've seen a lot of these properties don't have a staff. I mean, Maui El Dorado does. I mean, it has a front desk. It's operated like a hotel. So that makes absolute sense. And that's what this whole kind of vote and push to the Planning Commission was about. They still went no.
That's a decent price for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath at Maui El Dorado. That's typically what I'm used to seeing for studios. And they all live large.
Look at this one, Johnny.
Studios are big. Yeah.
Started at $1,000,003. You got a 3.3, 1,500 square feet. They closed at $895.
Wowza. And not cash?
Not cash. I mean, on your typical 7,500 square feet, decent looking house Feels like someone got a deal on this.
Happy Valley, man. The values stay Happy Valley, don't they?
This one as well feels like pretty good value. I mean, hotel zoned in Kahana, 969. They closed at 710. I mean, you could absolutely see locals living in this one.
Totally could.
It feels very residential in a lot of ways.
When I'm driving up my street, Hui F, and I'm watching tourists come down from Napili Ridge with their Tommy Bahama chairs, I'm like, why is Napili Ridge hotel zoned?
Yes.
I
So there's just a lot of question
knew
marks.
people.
I mean, even you just like scratch your head. Why are some things hotel zoned?
Manini, it's a fish. It's also a slang, which means small or not much.
And
$8.25,
it's
Danny.
pretty small.
$8.25
for 2 1.5.
Somebody says I'm gonna hemmel that tree and I'm gonna drop my ohana right there, bro. Hemmel means get rid of.
9,000 square feet. You got some work to do on this one to turn it into your. Someone's seen it.
I'm super happy watching housing prices drift lower, man.
You see it. Like, Kihei for sure. I mean, housing.
Dude.
It seems like there's a lot of things under $1 million in Kihei right now that are just not moving.
Can't get rid of them for $850. New roof. I'm seeing the
town seems to be holding on a little bit more. I mean, a lot of things in the million. Yeah.
Bringing more money than Kihei sometimes,
But Kihei's kind of dropping off, so I don't know what that's all about. Very interesting. Big news of the day. Planning Commission votes no. That doesn't mean this whole thing is shot down. Again, the mayor has spoken in favor of it. The Maui County Council voted 8-1 in favor of protecting these properties on Exhibit 2. So we shall see what happens. You'll hear it here. You'll probably hear it in the news. We throw our thoughts on it as well. Hopefully you find it helpful. If you do, hit subscribe, share it with someone, drop a comment, let us know. And if you have questions at any time, feel free to drop those in the comments. Till next time,
dude,
Johnny.
I got to say, it's been super fun meeting people from the show. And that happened this week, dude. I am so pumped, man.
Some really cool people. Some
yes,
Maui lovers. Savvy Maui lovers.
Yep.
That's who it is. Maybe
a hui ho, gang.
Hui ho. Be on the lookout. Deal of the week. We'll have something for you. Hopefully it doesn't take 4 days to upload this time. And we'll be back on Friday for Aloha Friday.
A hui ho.
Hui ho.